See what I can do. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could get you to take your seats, please, so we can begin this evening. Thank you. Well done. Thanks for the help. Good evening and welcome. We're going to begin this evening by enjoying a video performance provided by Director of Choral Music Serena Eichhorn, directing her choral group Vox Fortis, performing Ode to the Creator, a piece composed by our very own Harold Pope.
Amazed beyond wonder.
And I believe, Director Eichhorn, you have something for Dr. Pope you'd like to present where he's seated right now.
Thank you. This is a signed copy of the original score. This is the world premiere of the piece, and some notes of thank you from the students.
How about that for a start, huh? Welcome to the 2021 Homecoming Alumni Banquet. I'm Derek Chappell. I'm a 1987 graduate of this very campus, which to me I like to call a second home, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way. We're honored to be hosting you tonight. We look forward to celebrating homecoming with you all weekend long. To begin our evening, we'd like to recognize some special guests in the audience tonight, so if these folks would please stand as your name is called to be recognized. We'll start with Chancellor Emeritus Dr. Kevin Eichner and his wife Marilyn. President and CEO, Dr. Bill Tsutsui, and his wife, Dr. Marjorie Snow. OU Midwest President, Dr. Reggie Zwinicka, and his wife, Dr. Bongi Zwinicka. OU Arizona President, Dr. Dennis Tyner, and his wife, Patty. University Provost Dr. Terry Haynes and his wife Mary. Executive Vice President of OU Online Nancy Wingert. There she is. In the back of the room, Vice President for University Advancement, OU Midwest Janet Peters. Vice President for University Advancement, OU Arizona, Todd Simpson, and his wife, Michelle. Associate Dean of Student Life, Donald Anderson. And at this time, would our current, past, or life trustees please stand to be recognized? There they are. Ottawa University Alumni Association President Kate Wilcox. There's Kate there. And of course, we have many special guests in the room tonight that will be recognized throughout the program. At this time, I'd like to call to the stage, President of OU Midwest, Dr. Reggie Zwinicka.
Well, good evening. Thank you so much. Let me add to the welcome. Welcome to you back home. Welcome to your campus. We hope you're pleased with what you see, but I'll be the first one to tell you, if you're pleased with what you see, we couldn't have done it without your support and your moral support and your prayers. For that, we're always grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know we haven't seen each other for a while. I think the last time we saw each other was like 2 years ago. And for some, this may be the first time. You've met me, and as you can tell from my accent, I am from Texas, the northern part of Texas. Now, that doesn't explain why I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, but however, my name is Reggie Zwinicka, originally from Zimbabwe, and I have the opportunity of serving here as the campus president. This is my 4th year, and I am having the time of my life. But thank you so much for being here. Just a few things that I just want to quickly recognize. We just bring greetings to you from our faculty and from our staff. I also happen to serve on the City Planning Commission of this city, and when we were at City Hall, they did want me to extend their welcome to you, so the city also welcomes you to this town. Of course, none of you are strangers. It's still the same welcoming city that you left, and it's a great place to live, and my wife and I have thoroughly enjoyed being here. My wife calls it good, clean country living, and we've thoroughly enjoyed it. But thank you so much. But at this time, I'd like to, I know you've all traveled, and I've heard about some people having traveled a long way. But if you're here today and you think you've traveled the furthest to be here tonight, please raise your hand. I'd like to recognize you. And tell me where you've traveled from. Okay? Okay? Yeah. You're from Norway. And from England. That's just a puddle jump. Yeah, I think Norway wins. Sorry, England. We just, it just feels so close to us. So, all right. And by the way, this is Braves paraphernalia. There's no Dallas Cowboys thing in there at all, But if you do, I'll make sure I can organize that too. But thank you and welcome. And I just, it's been a great year. I mean, even with COVID, we wanted to get together last year. Then we thought we'd get together in April. But we're getting together now. And we are so relieved you're here. We are so thankful that you are here. And we mean that from the bottom of our hearts. And so thank you for being here. And at this point, I would like to welcome, we had an executive transition over the summer. And so I have a new boss. And the president and CEO of our entire organization. And, but I told you I'm from Texas. Really, I'm from Zimbabwe. I'm just going to ask. Some of you may not be here tomorrow for, yes, right? Yeah. So I did travel the furthest, many years ago. So I know some of you, if you can join us tomorrow for the inauguration ceremony, we really will be honored if you're able to. If you're not, that's okay. I would like you, please humor this boy from Africa by standing and helping welcome my new boss. Let's welcome him, receive him as an alumni body, Dr. Bill Satsui. Please stand and welcome my boss.
For goodness sake, sit down. Thank you so much, Dr. Reg. I'm just wondering, though, where's my bag of gifts for the shortest travel to this event? I walked 3 minutes from Granger House. Thank you all for being here. Welcome back to campus. It is an honor and a pleasure to join you for my very first Ottawa University Alumni Banquet on a picture-perfect Kansas fall day, smack dab in the middle of a long-awaited homecoming weekend. I have been looking forward to this weekend, and in particular to this event, ever since I started at OU just under 4 months ago. As president and CEO, I am Ottawa University's storyteller-in-chief. It is my wonderful job to be out in the world spreading the good news about this institution and its tremendous impact to prospective students and families, to donors, in the media, to every Rotary Club or other civic group that will let me near a podium. Heck, to anyone who has the bad luck to sit next to me on an airplane. So I need great stories about the transformative power of Ottawa University to share, and I know there is no better place to source these stories than at an alumni banquet, among the folks whose lives have been changed by this place, who are full to the brim with memories and nostalgia and affection for this campus and this community. So if you have a story about why Ottawa University is important to you, please tell it to me. I will treasure it, and I will make good use of it. Now, it is a real joy this evening to have the opportunity to recognize so many folks who have left such a mark on Ottawa University and are now making their marks on the larger world. The 5 recipients of Alumni Association awards are truly exceptional individuals who have done so much, given so much of themselves, and meant so much to so many. The 2 50-year reunion classes are absolutely legendary on this campus, and they have distinguished themselves through their professional accomplishments, their personal qualities, their leadership in communities and churches and countless other organizations, and in their long commitment to OU. And then, of course, there is Kevin Eichner, who needs no introduction here, and whose accomplishments at this university are the stuff of legend. When I think about the Ottawa spirit, lots of things come to mind. The long relationships with the Ottawa tribe and the American Baptist Church, the strong senses of community and service I feel on this campus every day, the incredible food pantry for needy students that John Holzhutter runs in the basement of Atkinson Hall, and perhaps above all, the passion, heart, and vision that Kevin Eichner has invested in this university. I am so glad we can celebrate and thank all of you this evening. Now, the program says I'll be giving you a university update in my short comments. But rather than me just talking more, because I'll be talking plenty at folks over the course of this weekend, let me just encourage you to look around you when you're on campus. Look at all the students. There are so many, in fact, that the dorms are completely full, our leased properties across town are completely full, and there are even some kids living in the Holiday Inn. Look at that temporary parking lot we had to build on the Martin Hall lawn to accommodate all the students. Look at the vitality apparent everywhere on this campus, from the art studios in Frederickson Chapel to the halls of the admin building and the labs in Ward Science to the playing fields and courts that will be roaring tomorrow afternoon. Look at the new facilities made possible by generous and far-sighted supporters. The fabulous Creed Family Greenhouse to be dedicated tomorrow morning, and the state-of-the-art Braves Athletic Performance Center with Phase 1 now rising out of the ground and the fundraising for Phase 2 well underway. Ottawa University, I am proud to tell you, is riding a wave of unprecedented growth. It's bucking all the trends in American higher education today, and there is a palpable sense of momentum here in Kansas, at the campus in Surprise, and through our adult and online programming. When you head home after homecoming weekend, I hope you will feel a lot of pride about your alma mater, and I hope you will be suitably well prepared to tell your friends and relatives about all the great things happening at Ottawa University. Now, I could go on, but before I shut up and let us get started eating dinner, just a couple of words of thanks. To President Wenyika, who has done absolutely stellar things in a very short period of time, and who I find a joy and inspiration to work with, thank you so much for your commitment to Ottawa University. To all the people who worked so hard to make tonight possible, the members of the Alumni Board, Courtney Klaus, Janet Peters, and the great team in advancement, all the people in facilities and IT and the college and marketing and American Dining Creations who went above and beyond to make this occasion special. And thanks again to you all, the alums and honorees we are celebrating this evening, for being here, for the lives of significance you have led, and for your deep, deep commitment to Ottawa University. Thank you so much.
For those of you coming from out of town, like Norway, Nebraska, and England, Iowa, I got to tell you, and thanks for making that long trip. These two guys, Doc Reg and Dr. Bill, what you see tonight, that's not just show for the alumni. These guys are like this all the time. This passion and their volume, that's like that all the time, okay? But That passion is infectious, and I think it trickles down to staff and faculty and students and community, and we're darn lucky to have both of them here. You've heard of type A personalities. These guys are double A's, at least. So thank you both. I appreciate it. And now I'd like to invite John Holzhutter, University Chaplain and Director of the Frederickson Center for Faith and Church Vitality, to the stage to recognize our brave braves and give our invocation.
I would invite all who are able to stand to do so. As we remember our brave braves and other alumni and friends who have died these past 2 years, and they're listed in the program on page 11, if you'd like to refer to it. The Braves Brave statement reads, "The Ottawa University Alumni Association invites you to join in observing a moment of silence, both in memory and acknowledgement of our brave braves, those Ottawa University students, alumni, and friends who have offered their military service to our country. And now in tribute to those braves and to all as an honor to have passed on in the last 2 years. Conjoined in the Ottawa spirit, let's share a moment of sacred silence." While sobered by the passing of those who have left this assembly to join in God's tangible company, we are honored to inherit their share of the Ottawa spirit and its commitment in making a significant difference. May the pain of their absence deep stir us to endow an even bolder legacy to those braves who come after us and the citizens of a larger world that they will be, hungry for the worth of God's works and purpose. So let's pray. God of grace and grit, of joy, of passion, trusting in your care and sustained by your faith in us to learn and grow, we gather for this time to join and reconnect in the Ottawa spirit. We give thanks for the paths and the people, known and unknown to us, who work to make this moment possible. Bless us now as we unfold into the next chapters of our lives. We celebrate the past, and while we do not know the future, Holy God, we are braves, and so we stand ready for it, because we trust your care and are emboldened with your passion for seeking truth and doing good. May your Holy Spirit fill us this evening as we connect with old and new friends, and may Christ's love overfill us in the now and the then. Amen.
Thank you, John. We will hear more from you later. Now for the part you've all been waiting for up to this point, dinner. Our delicious meal this evening will be served buffet style, so please remain seated until you're dismissed by table, and please enjoy your meal. Thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to finish up, maybe grab your coffee. We'll get started in about 5 minutes. Thank you.
just think of the direction and put an ER.
South with an R, right?
Yeah.
South with an R.
South
All right.
R.
South R, all right.
Hi, Kevin. I'm well. How are you? Congratulations. Thanks for all you did. Congratulations on your induction last night. That was for all of your athletic prowess, right? I heard. So how did you get this
I've
poster?
been doing this for about 15 years.
Have you really?
I grew up here from Ottawa. I spent a lot of time. I went to Lumber Radio Station. I came up with radio.
So you
I
got
get roped into that a lot. No, it's fun. I enjoy it. See a lot of people I know. It's good. I probably just got to get in trouble doing something else.
You know what's very cool now is being able to, I play ball here, and being able to watch the football games on the web.
It's nice.
Wow, and it gets better. This year, the quality of the broadcast are way better than they
Oh,
have.
really? Oh, good.
Yeah,
Glad to hear
I
that.
mean, they're not
Glad to hear that.
terrific.
Better's good. Better's good. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you mind taking your seats. If you're getting coffee, go ahead. We don't want to deprive you of that.
Wow, that's great.
Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed your meal. I'm sure the bright lights are for a reason, but the last thing I need to be seen is in HD, right, Dave? As is the tradition each year at homecoming, we celebrate our 50-year class. After waiting an entire extra year to celebrate their reunion, I'd like to welcome Jeff Souther to the stage and ask him to welcome the class of 1970 back to campus. Jeff?
Good evening, everybody. How do you possibly follow up after dinner after hearing Dr. Bill? And you even have the colors on. I see you have the black and gold with socks and the shoes, and I'm just enormously impressed. Our class really had some tough times over the last couple of years. We began planning this, and Courtney Klaus told us, I've never seen the class start so early planning their reunion. We started about 18 months, I think, prior to what would have been last year at this time. We were all incredibly disappointed we weren't able to be here on campus to celebrate it. It is really special, though, to be here with the class of 71 as well. Now, just my committee, and it's really not my committee, there was a group of us that spent many, many, many hours working on this reunion. What was, I think, the most fun for me, at least, was making calls to people I hadn't talked to in 45, 50 plus years and connecting. And the number of folks and the stories I heard were really incredible. Unfortunately, many of our classmates could not make it here tonight for one reason or the other. Health reasons just didn't fit into their schedule. But for the folks that are here, welcome. This is terrific to have us all here. I did want to recognize Eva Cohen, Barbara Rockwell, Pam Woodward, Rich Harlan, Joe Rye, Terry Turner. They were part of the group in and out over the last couple of years as we planned this. Biggest thanks has to go to Ruth Marcos over there. Ruth was not at a meeting 2 years ago at homecoming, and I was on Zoom, and we were talking about, what we were going to do, and Courtney said, someone's got to do the book. I said, what the heck's the book? Well, someone's got to put together the memory book. I said, Ruth Marcos. Well, she and I have been friends we were friends for 50 years. But Ruth, thank you. You did just an incredible job. The last two people really were Nori Hale. Nori was very helpful with our class, and I know she did a lot with the class of 1971 as well. But anybody that's put these together, Courtney, Klaus is really the one that makes this happen. So Courtney, wherever you are, thank you. You were terrific to work with. So with that, have a great evening. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, as Jeff mentioned, the class of 1971 is also here celebrating their 50th, and I would ask the planning committee to please come to the stage and say a few words. And the deer in the headlights look right back at me. Anyone from 71 want to come up and say a few words? It was a good year? All right. Oh, here we go. Well, Bill will get up here, of course. There's Bob. Bob's going to make his way up, everyone.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know that we came totally unprepared for this, so we really appreciate being brought up here at this moment. But first off, I would like to welcome you here. I'm probably the least qualified to welcome you in, but it is a pleasure to see all of these faces here today and get to catch up on the old times. I'm going to let some other people talk, but thank you for being here. It's always an experience to come back to Ottawa every year.
It's been very exciting planning this. I think we've all had just really a great time. It's been fun. It's been fun thinking about what are we going to do for tomorrow night as well. That's going to be great fun, and we look forward to that. But again, it was the corresponding with people. Because of where I live, I couldn't make the phone calls. My husband just, no, not my husband. He's not here anymore. Where does that come from? Anyway, I decided I couldn't afford to phone everybody from England. Anyway, so that was fine. I did it by email, and it was absolutely really fun, the people. And you know, there's some people here tonight who we corresponded by email, so it's really fun to see everybody.
So, hey, hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Everybody's here, and we've been having fun telling stories and remembering, and if I can't remember something, someone else can. And we've had fun, and we all connected on Zoom, and we had to kind of figure out the timing because, you know, she has a different time zone than we have. So sometimes she would be drinking wine in her pajamas when we would meet. So we kind of had to figure that out, but we've had a lot of fun and just planning it and sending emails or calls or even letters to people trying to get everybody to come. Our goal was to try to contact everybody in our class. We didn't make everybody, but we gave it a good effort. We gave it a good try. And so thank you all for coming, and we're looking forward to everybody talking and remembering and just having some laughter, some good times together. So thanks for coming.
So I'll keep this short, but some of you might know my grandfather was a Baptist minister, so anytime there's a mic nearby, it's hard to avoid it. But this will be very brief. I just want to say thank you and welcome to everybody here. One of the things I appreciate is being able to not only see my fellow classmates, but since I worked here for a few years, it's good to see some of the board members that I knew and some of the staff that I knew. This is a very special place, and any opportunity I had to give back to a place that gave me a lot, I welcome that opportunity. And I just love seeing all your faces and smiles and stuff like that. And thank you for being here, and thank you for letting me preach to you a little bit.
It's pretty much what they said, but we had an awful lot of fun Zooming with each other for several months, and then we made a lot of calls to classmates who couldn't be here tonight, but they did send their bios to us, so we really have had a great time bringing the class of 71 back together again after 50 years. So thanks for welcoming us into this tonight.
Oh, and I'm just here for moral support.
This is the best class ever. I only got to spend 2 years with them because somebody stole me away, but it's good to see you all. And the last of the Schmidt tribe to come through here, I just want to say thank you for all you do for families, you know, and all the people that you minister to, and we're so glad. And someday I'm going to retire, and this is the best job ever. So if you ever want it, just come talk to Janet Peters, all right? Thank you all for coming. Great to see you.
This is my least favorite part of homecoming, when I actually have to get up here and talk. But my name's Courtney. I'm the alumni director here at OU. I've been here for 5 years now. And I just want to thank both of our 50-year classes for coming back. Thank you for planning a reunion in a pandemic. Thank you to the class of 70 for I think you guys really started trying to plan this like 4 years ago. And so thank you for putting up with me for that long. And I did have that conversation with them where I said, no one has started this early before, but they got an extra year of it anyway. So let's give them another round of applause. Welcome back, guys. So the past year and a half really changed our world. It's kept friends and family apart and made us rethink just about everything about our lives and how we go about just everyday life with our friends and family. And our office has missed being able to have events like this. We're so grateful that all of you are here and we have a full room. We can celebrate our awardees. There are a few people that I would like to recognize that are special. One of which is Bob Froning, who is part of the class of 1943. And so that's pretty incredible to come back for another homecoming. And then we have one very special alum that's very important to our office, and that's Miss Harma McKenzie. And last year was her 75th reunion that we missed. And ever since I started this job, she was so excited about her 75th. And so when it got postponed twice, that was really disappointing. But Harma is very wonderful to our office, and we love you so much. Thank you for taking care of us. And so we can get on with our evening. Just a small announcement. We'll celebrate homecoming next year, the weekend of October 29th. So we hope to see you all then. And now I'm going to invite Kate Wilcox, who just took over as our alumni board president, to come up and say a few words.
Hi. So I've been around Ottawa for a little while. I graduated not terribly long ago, but I think my first trip to Ottawa was in 1992 when I was 10, and my mother started recruiting. Her sisters are both here tonight. Hey, Aunt PJ. Hey, Aunt Beth. I first started getting involved with Ottawa and the alumni board way back when my mother was on it with Maurice and a few other people. But it's always been something that has meant a lot to me. And I was saying earlier tonight that it's so much fun to be here joking and teasing and laughing with other people who love Ottawa as much as I do. I feel like it's something that gets overlooked sometimes when you go to a really big school is just somewhere where you got an education. But like everybody says, Ottawa is home. Ottawa just kind of sneaks in there even when you don't want it to and just grabs hold of your heart. And I am very excited to work with the board and to take over as president for a couple years. I really look forward to trying to diversify our group and get some new faces, not necessarily young faces. So if you've never been on the board, hint, hint, come join the board. It's fun. But I would really like to get a diverse group As we were sitting there one time a couple of years ago, I looked around the room and I said, wow, we've got a lot of white faces in here. And so I went out on a mission and started contacting friends of mine who are not looking like me, because I feel like that's an important thing, especially with the makeup of students that we have had throughout our history. So if you know of someone who you think would be a great contribution, we are always willing and more than happy to talk to new people and add them to our board. As far as I know, and I may be speaking out of turn, but as far as I know, we don't have a number that, you know, we can't exceed, so send them all. Anybody who graduated, just come on. But that's it. Have a great homecoming, everybody.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Courtney. You know, each year at this banquet, we honor alumni who've made contributions to their world and the world at large. Each award has a different purpose and intent, but all are designed to acknowledge the lives of outstanding significance that an Ottawa University alumnus or friend has led. So I'd like each of you to take some time to consider who you might nominate for a particular award. Alumni are the resource for these honorees, so please make the alumni office aware of people who would like to see recognized for their lifetime achievements and service. And now we'll begin our 2021 recipient recognition. You can refer to your program for a more extensive explanation of the criteria for each award and biographies for each of the awardees. I will ask each honoree tonight to make their way to the stage as I read their citation. They'll get a picture over here with Courtney and Kate, and then share a few words with us. And Harold, the word few was added for your benefit, is what I was told. Okay? Okay. The Distinguished Service Award is designed to recognize outstanding personal and professional contributions to society through service in the church and or the community over a span of time. They will be individuals or couples who have demonstrated professional competence and accomplishment and abiding loyalty to Ottawa University. Nominees may be alumni or friends of the university. Tonight, we're honoring Dr. Harold Pope for his service. Harold, would you make your way forward as I read your citation, please? Harold, for earning your degree in music education at Ottawa University, your Master's of Music Education at Indiana University, Master's of Fine Arts and PhD in Music in the University of Iowa, for your service as a faculty member and for chairing the Division of Arts and Humanities at Ottawa University, serving as Chair of Music Education at Eastern New Mexico University and the Music Department of the University of South Dakota, serving as Dean of the University of Massachusetts Lowell, Acting Associate Dean at Florida State University, and as Director and Professor Emeritus at Wichita State University. For your contributions as a musician and trombonist with the USO Tour, the Kansas City Philharmonic, South Dakota Symphony, New England Symphony Brass Quintet, and Tallahassee Symphony, and as a guest soloist across the country. For your wisdom as a composer, publishing choral, instrumental, and solo works that have been performed internationally, and your commissioned compositions for the U.S. Army Band. For your voice as an editor and presenter for multiple publications and musical associations, accrediting bodies, and as an author of Discovering the Creative Impulse. I've got more, hang on. For your service in leadership of and as a member of the faith community, leading Sunday school, worship services, life groups, and as instructor of courses in arts and Christianity. For your commitment to Ottawa University as a member and past president of the OU Alumni Association. And for sharing in your journey of faith, love, and life with your wife, Vicki, and your entire family, embodying the spirit of a lifelong student and educator. For all of these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 22nd day of October 2021 proudly award you, Dr. Harold Pope, the 2021 Distinguished Service Award. Congratulations.
The one problem with all of this is that retired college professors are conditioned for a 90-minute speech. And Derek said I have 3. Thank you. They're mere words in no way can express the honor I feel for this occasion, the recognition. It is very humbling. Ottawa University has been part of my life as long as I can recall. My parents attended Ottawa University in the 1920s, 100 years ago. My brother Claire was an all-conference tackle here, and my younger sister graduated from OU, so I was immersed. I met my wife, Vicki, here, wife of 61 years, and none of this could have been possible without her being in the yoke with me. We've met so many friends and had so many great experiences here. Although I always had a thirst for learning, when I got to OU, that drive was enhanced and affirmed through becoming part of the Ottawa Spirit. My student days also served to deepen my faith and continued maturity in relationship with God. The importance of my student time at OU has never diminished. Several years ago after graduation, I got a call from Stanley DeFries asking me if I would at least consider coming back to OU as a music professor. Realizing how much the experiences that we had on campus and as part of Ottawa University, my wife and I decided we would bring our family. For the next 7 years we were here on campus and raised our 3 children, Mike, Debbie, and Chris. Those were impacting years, replete with fulfilling possibilities. Throughout my life, I've had numerous opportunities for all kinds of experiences for which I am greatly gratified. Often, following through with them would not have been possible without my wife, my super family, and divine guidance. Blessings over the decades have included extensive research and study, being able to perform with numerous organizations all across the country. And I've learned a great deal from my students. I've been blessed through being able to compose, to conduct, and those kinds of things have been important, but most important has been teaching. I've had students from 86 different countries, and I've learned a great deal from them. After 56 years, I extended it, 56 years of teaching music and retiring for the 3rd time, I find I still miss working with the students, especially in my class on creativity. I have always had an insatiable belief in the fact that everybody, all people, are inherently creative, and my desire to share that belief with other people. Being creative is part of being created in the image of our Creator. While at Ottawa, 2 individuals really mentored me probably the most. Roger Fredrickson and Prof. Edgar Kerr. They were really symbolizing the strength of the Ottawa Spirit. Prof. Kerr always ended our concerts with a saying that's enshrined on one of the walls in Tilly Jones Hall. How many of us have ever stopped to think of music as a wondrous magic link with God, taking oft times the place of prayer when words have failed us neath our load of care. Music that knows no language, race, or creed, but gives to each according to his need. I always try to end my classes with these few words to my students. Go and make a better world. To me, that's the essence of the Ottawa Spirit. Thank you.
The Outstanding Achievement Award was established to recognize those Ottawa University graduates who've gone beyond their OU experience to achieve a significant level of responsibility and recognition. It may be based on accomplishments in the context of their paid career, or for civic or personal interests they've pursued, which had an impact on the world, nation, state, or community. Nominees will have demonstrated a strong sense of ethics consistent with the values of Christian education and will be admired for both their accomplishments and their personal values. This evening, we're honoring Mr. Mitch Barnhart for his achievements. Mitch, would you come forward, please? Mitch, for earning your degree at Ottawa University and your master's in sports administration at Ohio University, for your contributions in administration at San Diego State, Oregon, Southern Methodist, and Tennessee, and as an athletic director at Oregon State University, for becoming one of the most foremost leaders of collegiate athletics in the nation, for being awarded AD of the Year in 2020 in the midst of your 20-year tenure as the athletics director at the University of Kentucky, for serving as chair of the NCAA Men's Basketball Committee in the span of only 2 months alongside staff, inventing and implementing new procedures to ensure the safety and health of all 68 NCAA teams that were able to play to continue even in the midst of a pandemic, for leading your staff, coaches, and teams to national all-sports standings and garnering multiple national championships for swimming and diving, volleyball, men's basketball, and rifle, for your continued commitment to the holistic athlete, wherein University of Kentucky athletes have set records for graduation rates and maintained a perfect mark for 17 years with the NCAA academic progress rate, for your investment in fundraising, providing expertise and awareness in the need of facilities such as the Joe Kraft Center, UK Golf House, and Kroger Field, contributing to its $126 million renovation, for exhibiting heart and care on and off the field with your wife Connie and your entire family. For these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 22nd day of October 2021 proudly award you, Mitch Barnhart, the 2021 Outstanding Achievement Award. Congratulations.
So Harold told me he was going to go an hour. So he gives me plenty of license to go 3+ minutes. So I appreciate that. Congratulations to all the other honorees. And Kevin and Marilyn, thank you so much for what you've done to bring my alma mater back to a spot where we're so proud of what we come back to. I haven't been back very often because of schedules, but to come back and see this incredible growth of this institution, amazing, and very proud of that. Dr. Bill, thanks for your enthusiasm, man. You're going to speak to my teams later on, so we're good. We're good. We're good. Couple things. It's amazing to come back after I don't get a chance to come back very often. We are an off football weekend, and I'm thankful for that. We need some. We're beat up as a football team. We need to heal. So it's good to be off, and it's great to be home in Ottawa. So I had a chance to do a little bit of an oral history downstairs with a young man who's a junior here, and had a really nice visit with him. And I reflected back on some of the great things that Ottawa has given me. And most of all, as I laugh a little bit, they gave us a lot of grace. Well, as I think back, there were some moments, there's some grace in all of that, and I'm thankful for that. Wonderful times here. I see some friends that I haven't seen in years, and so I know that our reunions are fast approaching and things that mean a lot. I'm in the business of trying to develop champions on and off the field, on and off the court, and those kinds of things. And I got to think about the champions in this place. And when I think about championship effort, I think about the Boceks. I think about the Kinneys. I think about Dr. Anderson. I think about Dr. Snyder and Dr. Angel. I remember Dr. Fredrickson. Those are champions in what they do. And the greatest champion of all is my advisor was Dr. Ronald Averett. How I survived that, I have no idea. I'll tell a couple of quick stories, and then I'll get on to it and let my 3 minutes pass. I think about the time I walked in this building today, and they said, "This is the library." And I said, "Wow, it looks amazingly different from the one that I never went into when I was here." Sorry. True story. I went in there as a junior, and I walked in the library, and the lady says, "Are you a student here?" I said, yeah. She says, I'm sorry, I don't believe you. Can you show me an ID that would indicate that you are a student here? I said, yeah, I truly am. So I did survive that. The other great memory that I have, not great, was Dr. Averitt explaining to me that Dr. Angel and I could not argue about my statistics grade as he took me down to Dean Shumway's office to explain to me the code of conduct for students on campus. I was thankfully allowed to stay in school. That was very, very good. But the more enjoyable is Connie and I had an opportunity to get out here earlier today. We just said, let's go down a little bit early and walk the campus. We haven't done that in a long time. So we walked around and walked over by Brown Hall, which second floor was my home for 4 years over in Brown Hall. And so we were talking at the table about all the people that were on that second floor Brown Hall. Pretty amazing group of wonderful men. And I look up and I see the accomplishments of those guys and where they are today and the things that they have done. And just the affiliation of knowing that a group of guys that, boy, looking back, you wondered how they got amazing what they've done. And I'm really, really proud of that group. We'll laugh, but they're really an amazing group of people, right? The Alumni Association knows now. They know. Really amazing. Lessons learned. And I think that's what Ottawa is all about, is lessons learned and learning. We talk about our 5 principles in our department, and I'll hit them really quick. Character of the heart, integrity of the brain, lifelong learners, being sacrificial in what you give, being a servant leader. And that people use that phrase pretty loosely in today's world. And the last one is compete with all your heart. And those are things that I learned here through the lessons of Ottawa. Really important to understand that. Those were lessons I wrote down 30 years ago. And I made them a part of our creed as an athletic department 25 years ago when I became an athletic director. We've lived by those. Methods are many, principles are few. Your methods will always change, your principles never do. And we will live by those principles, and we will continue to work through all of that. Really good friend of mine made the comment. He said that he visited with him. He's a gentleman out of Louisville. And he made a comment. He said he heard it from John Maxwell, and I'm sure he's been many times quoted, probably more so than necessary. Achievement is defined as doing great things for yourself. Success is when you empower followers to do great things. Legacies are when you create in leaders the opportunity for them to lead the organization without you being there. It's our job to provide generational leadership to help people understand what it looks like to lead the organizations as we leave them. And so there'll be days when Kevin isn't here to lead this institution and Dr. Bill will lead this institution. I will no longer lead our department, but whoever, if we're doing our jobs effectively well, we've created legacy opportunities for them to come behind us and do exactly what is called to do. So I'm thankful for the relationships that were so special that taught me how to lead. I'm not sure I've done it perfectly, but we've certainly been good triers, and we'll continue to do that. Most of all, I thank this place for that woman. I met her here my junior year. She played basketball for the Braves, and we've been married 40 years, and she's been with me all over this country. We've got 3 amazing kids and 4 wonderful grandkids, all because of this place. So we're very blessed. We're very thankful. I'm so appreciative of the award tonight, and look forward to spending some more days as time allows back here on campus, and amazed at what you've done. 500 kids on this campus when I went to school. I've been told there's almost 900 now. And it's an amazing story in the midst of higher education, and I'm so thankful that Ottawa is a place that I can call home. Thank you so much, and God bless.
The recent Alumni Award was established in 2013 and is designed to recognize recent graduates who've attained a significant level of achievement and potential for accomplishment in the early years following graduation. The recipient will be a graduate of the university within the last 10 years, have met significant challenges in pursuit of professional goals, given service to the community, church, and others, or shown significant alumni participation and support. This year's recipients, with an S, are Mr. and Mrs. Michael and Reagan Jones. Would you guys come forward, please, as I read your citation? For earning your degrees at Ottawa University as presidential and provost scholars, graduating magna cum laude and summa cum laude, graduating with distinction, and for both earning a spot on the Dean's List all 4 years of your undergraduate studies, For making an impact upon your field of service as an audit practice senior and digital advisor for Ernst & Young, leading a team that services a $30 billion client. For helping transform the Ernst & Young culture by ushering in an age of data analytics. For making an impact upon your field of service as a teacher of government and law at Baser Linwood High School, being named a Teacher of Promise in 2018 and earning a Horizon Award nomination in 2019. For being voted Most Inspirational Teacher at Shawnee Heights High School in 2020. For the significance you embody as youth leaders with Prairie Baptist Church and serving on its finance and mission committees. For the commitment you share towards one another, your family, and your friends. For these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 22nd day of October 2021 proudly award you, Michael and Reagan Jones, the 2021 Recent Alumni Award. Congratulations.
So I will say, I don't think we planned on saying anything until we were told that we were supposed to. So just go with it if you don't mind. But what's nice and is, I guess, thought-provoking is Harold, Mitch, you guys have big shoes to fill. You know, and as Harold, as you mentioned, go make the world a better place. And I appreciate that challenge because I guess this award in and of itself is not about the accomplishments that we've made. It's the accomplishments and goals that we are striving for and continue to make and represent kind of the younger student body, alumni population. So do you have anything that you'd like to say?
No, I think you said it pretty well. I mean, we've already been sitting here a long time. Like, I think we're good.
So on that note, thank you to all of you that are here. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. Thank you.
You know, on a personal note, having worked with these two on the alumni board, their future is extremely bright. And they're going to be back here long after we're gone, doing this 60 years later, talking about, remember that alumni night back in... So guys, congratulations to both of you. Well deserved. The Esther Ruth Award recognizes individuals who have given a significant amount of time to volunteer service for the benefit of Ottawa University, who've shown initiative, understanding, and leadership, who promoted the university's mission and purpose, and exemplified the Ottawa spirit. Nominees may be alumni or friends of the university. Tonight, we honor Mr. John Holzhutter with this award. John, would you come forward, please? John, for earning your Bachelor of Arts degree from Marymount College, your Master's in Education from Capital University, your Master's of Divinity and Doctorate of Divinity from Trinity College, and Doctor of Psychology from Merton College, for your guidance as an alternative high school educator, for your service as an efficiency and process improvement consultant with federal agencies, and your service on task forces for the last 3 Kansas governors, for your specialization and dedication to not-for-profit partnerships and your vast assistance with private, state, and federal grant funding, for your commitment to the frail, underserved, disadvantaged, and those in high-risk environments with the Winter Center for Restorative Justice, for your service to an entire generation of veterans with the VA and VAA Chapter 912, for your example of faith and leadership with the Frederickson Center and Faith for Church Vitality at Ottawa University, for your programming development that encourages hundreds and thousands of theologians, church leaders, faculty members, pastors, laypersons, students, and community members, while encouraging the spirit of Bible study and Bible practice throughout every facilitation, classroom, course, theater production, and department of which you've been part of. For your abiding love for your wife Linda, your children, the host of family and friends both near and far. For these and other notable accomplishments, the officers and members of the Ottawa University Alumni Association on this 22nd day of October 2021 proudly award you, Dr. John Holzhutter, the 2021 Esther Ruth Award. Congratulations, John.
You know, there's been a huge conspiracy for most of my adult life by Esther Ruth Bemmels. When my parents decided to leave the missions, we were going to move to Kansas or to Oregon, and they said we were going to move to Overbrook, Kansas. So in 1979 we did. And I had this fantasy about going into radio. So I was introduced to Dr. Bemmels, and I worked for a radio station in Topeka called Wren Radio, and then he hooked me up with a crew in Lawrence. I never could call Esther Ruth Esther Ruth. She was always Mrs. Bemmels. I really liked Mrs. Bemmels, and she sicked Stanley DeFries on me. Now, Stanley grew up with my grandmother and another lady, Joyce, in the neighborhood, and he was sure that I would come to OU, and I said, I will not go to Ottawa University. I want to go somewhere fun. So as I said that, Esther Ruth said, you know, there's a machine shed that's over by Toy Jones. At that point, it wasn't Toy Jones, I don't think. She said, they play lots of games of chance there. I hope you would never go there. I was in high school, y'all, so I went there. It was cool. Then there was a huge issue because she was really concerned, Kevin, I love you. I was going to go to Baker because I was doing the Ballad of Blackjack at Baker every year, and I played this guy with a red hat. So she took me to a place called the Vassar Playhouse, where I got to play with Roger Moon, who at that point was here. And she said, you know, they have a great theater program at OU. You realize that I will never go to Ottawa. My mother warned me about those Baptists. When Linda and I moved here, Linda hooked up with Esther Ruth. Now, if you didn't know Esther Ruth, you could hear her coming by her polyester pantsuit. I'm serious. And she was just like my mother-in-law in that way, and Linda loved her. And they would have tea parties. For whatever reason, she really picked on me horribly. So, for example, there's something called Skunk Run here. Esther Ruth told me that you dress up your children like skunks and they run through the sewers. Sadly, I believed her. Linda made skunk costumes. I think she was in on it. They don't really do that. There's a couple of other things. The worst, I think Kevin knows this one, there was a tree that Esther Ruth thought we should save, and she and Mrs. Pyle, they said that I needed to handcuff myself to Mrs. Pyle to this tree. So we'd been there 2 hours, and I said, I really have to go urinate. And she said, John, I don't have the key to this. What? Somehow it is so bizarre that after I got to be in the yearbooks probably 20 years ago because I was in plays here, even though I just lived in the neighborhood. Every stick of furniture Linda and I had in the house was in the plays here. And now I work here, y'all. And I'm getting an award named after the woman that somehow trapped me here all along. And in the realm of poetic justice, I just think it's awesome. I know that she's up in heaven having a tea party with my wife. Esther Ruth died on my birthday one year. That was just cruddy. Somehow this is the perfect memory. The one thing she said about the man that ended up somehow enticing me to this university, a place that I thought I would never go, Kevin Eichner, was it's really hard to say no to him. He's persistent. I think that was a compliment, Kevin. I personally am just glad to meet Marilyn. She's a great cook, too. Guys, I know what it must feel like for you as you see people that you love, that you went to school with, and I have to tell you that this crew of people, Harold, who has the best rambles in my inbox ever, and I highly recommend an email from him. Barnharts, who came, as Roger F. said, this is a crew you want for adventures in faith. I, of course, never had favorite students, so I can't say that Michael and Reagan are those. But it's like being with a really cool group of people as an alum. And I can't tell you how special this is to me for so many reasons. Bless you and thank you all. This is truly an honor and a privilege.
Dr. Bill, would you join me back up on the stage, please? We're going to take time right now to honor Chancellor Emeritus Dr. Kevin Eichner and former First Lady Marilyn Eichner. I'll turn it over to you.
I warned you I was going to be talking to y'all a lot this weekend. It is a real joy to have the opportunity to recognize a son of Ottawa University who I consider to be one of the boldest and most transformative leaders in 21st century American higher education. Kevin Eichner has never sought the limelight and the headlines like some of the more celebrated and widely known university leaders of recent years, the Michael Crows and Gordon G's of this world. But what he accomplished in his 13 years as president and then chancellor of Ottawa University stands up with the best of them. Kevin led a renaissance on this campus and then challenged this institution to carry its mission forward with the audacious and far-sighted vision of a new residential campus in Arizona. Kevin pulled off enough miracles during his tenure at OU to qualify for sainthood. And I am happy to let you know that this fall, Kevin has received some well-deserved national recognition for his achievements in igniting Ottawa University's unprecedented growth and success. Based on a nomination prepared by Todd Simpson and Janet Peters, Kevin has been recognized with the 2021 Council for Advancement and Support of Education Chief Executive Leadership Award. This prestigious honor recognizes university CEOs for outstanding efforts in promoting and supporting education and institutional advancement. The award honors those leaders who demonstrate exceptional achievement in, and I quote from the criteria, actively supporting advancement, creating a vision and inspiring others, establishing a positive image for his or her institution while leading it to higher levels of success, increasing his or her institution's stature in the community, and encourage innovation and risk-taking among employees. I cannot imagine anyone better meeting these high standards and being more deserving of this great professional honor than Chancellor Eichner. Please join me in congratulating and thanking Kevin Eichner. Kevin, please come up on the stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bill, I'm going to hire you all the time to do that. That just feels really great. So wonderful to be with you, and I want to pass on my congratulations to each of your honorees. I have a personal relationship with everyone who's up here tonight, and that sort of tells the story about Ottawa University. It's connections, and I've loved that. Now, Mitch, you brought up the name of Ronnie Averett, who was also one of my advisors. And Ronnie gave me a lot of advice, much of it unasked for. But when he came to the presidency, let me see if I can capture his voice. Eichner, there's 3 stages of an Ottawa president. There's our new president, there's our goddamn president, and there's our former president. Now that I am in that 3rd phase. Ronnie's memory and those of many others come to me. Bill, I'm going to say more about this tomorrow at your inauguration. It's been the singular honor of our lives, Marilyn and mine, to do this work, and I suspect that will be true for you as well. And I am very certain that Ottawa University's board and those who were involved made a wise choice. Bill is smart, and he listens extraordinarily well, and as you can tell, he can communicate, and he's a synthesizer, and he is also bold. He has a tender heart but a tough mind, and that will stand him in good stead. And he has great energy and passion for what we're doing. Now, I will tell you that being a successful CEO is really easy. It's really easy. It's easy if you have a board of trustees like I've had. You know, I've seen boards eat their young in my career. This board has been enormously supportive and educated and engaged, and they gave heart and mind and treasure. And it's easy if you have a senior leadership team like mine, which you're inheriting. And I don't think we're going to miss a beat, and I see no signs of that, as each of these presidents and Terry as provost and others that I could mention have stepped up. It's easy if you're married to a very special person. And in my case, way above my acclaimed stature in life. And, you know, people talk about that like it's a trite thing. It's not. It's a big deal. So, Mitch, you spoke to that with respect to Connie. Trust me when I tell you that's true about Maryland. It's easy when you have a faculty, most of whom are willing to overlook the fact that they're smarter than you are and better educated, but willing to try new things. And when you have a staff and a group of people who will take on jobs, including managing a higher educational institution through 2 years of pandemic, where you have 650 kids in quarantine at one time, for example, and where you have 57 varsity athletic teams that are trying to compete through all of that. It's easy. There's nothing to this. And it's also easy when you have great donors. So CASE is really all about advancement, and there are people in this room who've given enormous sums. You know, the largest gift that Ottawa University ever had prior to 2008 was $1 million. And Jim and Gene Odell gave that. Wayne Angel gave the other one. In all of our history, we had two $1 million gifts. And so I stand in front of you now, counting north of 80 million, with people like the Odells, who, when I asked them for 6, gave us 8. Not embarrassing them, everybody knows that. We couldn't have done Surprise without it. Or a John Sherman, who gave me $3 million to go start a new campus because we had to hire faculty and staff and coaches when we had no students. By the way, no locker rooms, no field, no dining center. It's easy when you have the Jeff Hulls of the world who reach into their largesse time and time again, and the Hank Sherricks and the Hetricks and so many others that I could mention tonight. It's easy. It really is easy. So, Bill, you know, I think you're going to be up here one of these days, and I'm pretty confident that'll be the case. For all of those of you who have made this easy for me, thank you very much. God bless.
What's not easy is following someone like that, I can tell you. We have one more thing to do this evening, and we do not want to let this evening end without taking some time to honor our former First Lady, Marilyn Eichner. Marilyn has spent countless hours serving Ottawa University. She's been an integral part of Women's Education Society, serving as treasurer, hosting the annual meeting for many years along with her sisters. On moving day, she could be found outside residence halls offering help and a friendly face to new students and their families. She also opened up Granger House to students year after year for dinners. Her welcoming and kind spirit has greeted thousands of students and made them feel at home, both here in Ottawa and in Surprise. So, Marilyn, thank you for your service to Ottawa University, and at this time, would you and Kevin please come back up to the stage? John, Martin, would you make your way up too, please? You guys come. Yeah, go ahead. Come this way. Okay, we're going that way. So the rehearsal today, we had this all nailed down, all right? So we've forgotten since then. Mike, would you mind giving John a hand? Yeah. John, would you like to come up?
It's good you have one
Go ahead.
person to work with.
Well, don't worry, an artist is not supposed to talk. And but I do have a few words to say. And I've had many portrait unveilings here on this campus. And of course, this one is the most significant one. But I must tell you one story in the past that happened in the other union. And this was having to do with Dave and Esther Bimmels. And the occasion was I did an unveiling of them on the stage in the old union. And everybody stood up and applauded. And I stepped down off the stage. And everybody was clapping. And there was this one person on the corner right near, I was going to be walking by up that aisle. And he signaled to come over. And then I thought, well, I was going to get some personal words of thank you and a compliment and all that. And he was continuing to clap, so he didn't want to be noticed. And he leaned over to me and he said, "Your fly is open." So I've experienced many unveilings, trust me. That was a little personal. But I do want to tell you what a pleasure working on this painting, and because it brought back the years that I've known Kevin and Marilyn. We first met, I went on the board of trustees, and Kevin was the board chair. And those were great years. I thought he was amazing. And I thought that we went through a couple of presidents during that time, and then I, in the mid early 2000s, and I thought, gosh, wouldn't it be something if he even entertained the idea of becoming president? I never thought that would happen. But under the circumstances, he felt a call from God, and lo and behold, he became president, and that was the best move this university ever made. And trust me, I know my dad was here a long, long time, but that was a different era. We made a lot of progress during those years. But Kevin, one of the great visionaries, I remember standing out there in Arizona when it was a desert land, explaining to us how this is going to be. You know, I was on the board then, and we all looked at each other. Sure thing, okay. And gosh darn if he didn't make it happen, among other things. So we have a lot to be thankful for, and but I'll tell you, the tenure that Kevin and Marilyn has brought here, God bless that we were lucky enough to enjoy the time that they were here. And he'll still be around, but we are so blessed. Thank you and have a great evening.
I want to thank John for planting that seed, because in about 2 minutes when we're done, every man in this room is going to stand up and check their fly. I guarantee you. We want to congratulate all of the Alumni Association honorees this evening. They've each represented Ottawa University well in and around the world, so let's give them all another round of applause, please. So before we leave, we want to thank a few people. The American Dining for creating our meal tonight. Thank you to American Dining, a wonderful meal. To the University Advancement Team, why don't you all just stand up? The University Advancement Team, would you stand up if you're in the room right now? Stand up. The hours that they put in to make this happen, you have no idea. So thank you for all of that. And of course, all of the alumni for making this a memorable evening. All of you, please. So one quick question for all alumni. When you were here on this campus, was there a moment when you were in a game, maybe in a play, maybe you were just eating lunch in the lunchroom, when you had that feeling of, I'm in the right place, I'm where I'm supposed to be, God put me here, and I'm here right now? Anybody have that feeling you're here? Okay. How many have that feeling tonight? Anybody? To me, that's the Ottawa spirit. All right? Thank you all for being here tonight. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy the rest of your homecoming, and we'll see you here again next year. Thank you. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Thanks for being here.